click record. So I can't see Summer. Oh, there, I see her. I see her. So obviously, you guys, everybody was blown away last week, which is why there's probably so many of you on the call tonight, on time and early too. But we are going to jump right in because Summer shared her journey, her story, her testimony. So many of you are new and maybe you didn't know all of kind of the ins and outs of Summer's journey, but it was just so powerful. But it wasn't the whole story. And so she's going to pick up where she left off last week and really go into what happened. Because I think when I went back and listened to the recording, Summer, like you said, oh, we added 9 in December, but then you never really said like how many you guys added in March. And so she's going to really go through how she ended the year, kind of what progressed, and then how things kind of started jumping off in January and then move right into her hitting over 1,700 points in March. So I'll let you go ahead and take it away, Summer.
See. Okay, y'all. I have been literally running all day. And so it has been absolutely crazy. And I'm just ran in the house. So I'm going to, my numbers, they may not be exact, but they're going to be like super, super close, maybe off by 1 or 2. But as far as, let's see, to kind of pick up there, in December, like I said, we added 9. January, I believe we added 57. And then February was about 150, 155, somewhere in there. And then in March, we had 177. So that's kind of how the progression went. I was just kind of thinking back over everything. And I remember in January, just really, like I said, trying to plan and did not know how everything was going to happen, but I did know that I did set the goal for March for going Emerald. But it's not like I set that goal going, oh, I know we're going to do this and I know exactly how. Like it wasn't that way at all. So the biggest thing that I can convey to you all is that it is a faith walk. It is a faith journey. And you literally have to plan as if everything's in place when it may not be. And then from there, you're believing God that he will bring it about however he wants to do it, but you're believing him that he will bring about what your desired end result is. And so, I mean, that's all I can say that really happened right there in January. Go ahead, Robin.
Hey, so do you mind picking up also where you and I were really talking? Was it December or January? Remember when you told that part of the story, but you didn't get to finish it last week, where you were like, Robin had asked for your goal sheet. I don't know if that was December or January. You're like, I couldn't get her my goal sheet. And then how that conversation may have been somewhat of a springboard for that shift in your mindset about worthiness.
Mm-hmm.
When we talked about your mom, which we had not really had a conversation about.
I have to look back and see. I believe that was in, oh my goodness. It was one of them, either December or January, but I'm thinking it may have been December.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it was. So what kind of happened there was I was really having, like there's a blockage and you're trying to figure out what the blockage is. Like, I know, again, like I mentioned on the call the last time, like, okay, I know what to do, I know exactly what to do. I know how to get there. Like I've built and created momentum before. Like I felt like I had the know-how, but it was more of, for me, at the moment, I really didn't realize how much that personal situation was affecting me with my mom. I don't even know how we started talking about it, Robin. Do you know how it even came up? How did we start talking about it?
I'm sure I asked some sort of deep-seated question, like why? I'm always asking why are you feeling this way? And then somehow you brought up your mother, and then we just started peeling back the layers of that onion.
Yeah. For me, it was basically like I have set, unfortunately, like I mentioned, I can't have a relationship with my mother. Like I wish I could. I love her to pieces. But it's like a harmful, toxic, very, very toxic situation. And so I had put up barriers and like boundaries and parameters. And really those boundaries have increased over the years to where I realized that and I did this years back, like I can't even talk to her. I can't even have a phone conversation with her because it's that bad. Um, and so with that, I didn't realize like I was allowing her to text me, but she doesn't want to have a relationship with me. So her texts were always more so like just random off the wall things. And I felt like, I was receiving those texts, and I don't remember how the conversation went with Robin, but I know that she was just kind of like, well, why are you allowing her to text you? Because I was really trying to figure out what to do with it. Like, what do I do with this? I don't respond to her. And it just, every time she sends this text, like these random texts, what it was doing was reiterating to me that I'm not worth anything because that's my mom, so that my feelings still don't matter. I don't matter. Um, oh, it was not supposed to be a cry fest. This was not supposed to. Whew, okay. So you're trying to manage it as best as you can, but it's your mom. So as I was talking to Robin, I realized that I was allowing those texts because it helped me to feel connected to her in some sense. Like I know that she's alive, and no matter, even though it was doing something damaging to me, I still had that comfort as a daughter to know that my mom was alive and to know that, okay, she's okay today because I've heard something random and off the wall from her. So it really was just kind of waking up and realizing, Robin was like, yeah, you need to block her. you you need to block her. And I was like, oh, that's so hard because I feel like if something happened to her, how would I know? How would I know? And and of course there are ways, there are other family members that can get that information to me if something were to go wrong or anything. But for me, it was just hard making that step of blocking your mom. She's already blocked from Facebook, but it was just hard to then say, I'm even blocking your text. So I don't know. I just really feel like that brought freedom to me in a different way. And sometimes it's the smallest little things. Like you wouldn't think that little small thing would be so damaging, but it was like a constant reminder from her that you don't matter. And so you really do, have to just really kind of evaluate and really look at every single little thing. Like, where is this coming from? Why are you having feelings? I think Robin was just kind of going down that road of why are you having these feelings, um, of being unloved, or I don't remember what we were talking about all the way, but it was some off feelings. It was off base. And, and I know better with my mind, but it was still gripping me, and just keeping me stuck. And so I told her later on, I was like, man, I feel so free just not having to worry about what text is going to come in, what off the wall thing is going to be said. um, it just really helped me to move forward. So yeah.
Can I share something too?
Yeah, sure.
I want you guys to get a little bit of perspective here too, from my perspective as a leader. So as you are pouring into your own personal teams, it's especially when they're your level ones, people that you brought in, because these are people, these are people that you should be growing in relationship with. And so this is a lifetime of friendship that Summer and I have had, right? And over the past 6.5 years, this is something we've been doing closely together, right? So if I see potential in someone, which I see potential in all of the people that I've personally brought in, and I see a ton of potential in, all of you that I've gotten to know, um, it is your job as a leader to continue to probe and ask questions, because how many of you would agree, looking at Summer on the surface, you wouldn't think that she had a lot of the struggles that she shared on the call last week? And so it is your job. It is your job to make it your business to ask, what is really holding you back? And until you get to the root of that, then you aren't really showing up for your people in the way that you need to, right? So you need to not necessarily carry the responsibility of, oh, they haven't reached their goal, and so I'm going to take personal responsibility of them not reaching their goal. Because at the end of the day, this is Summer's business, right? But as her sponsor and as her friend, more than anything, and even more as her sister in Christ, it is my job to continue to ask those poignant questions and really try to help her to get to the root. Because when you see someone is so beautiful, right? I don't mean physically, even though she is physically beautiful, but beautiful, like spirit is beautiful, caring, loving, a bright light. You see these amazing characteristics in an individual, but yet they're still not showing up for themselves in the way you know that they should. You've got to try to get to the root of that. Okay. So I'm just really imploring every single one of you as leaders to care enough about your people and pour into them over and over and over. I don't care if it takes 10 years, right? Because I could have easily been like, well, I don't really know what Summer's issues are, but I got to move on. The average person does just move on. They're just like, I just go find other people because I don't know what the issue is, but it's our jobs to do this. Okay. I hope that makes sense. All right. Okay. Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, that has been huge for me. And really, it's been a journey of becoming more self-aware, learning. And another thing is I think that for me, there can be different things that can cause you. I think a lot of people just have issues they still need to go back and deal with from childhood, right? That's like a common thing. But I feel like for me, even more coming from a place of disability, I really think that, have you all ever heard, like, when someone went to jail, they stopped maturing right there because they weren't in normal life situations and they weren't having those opportunities to grow and to, realize more things about themselves. And so I feel like it's the same way with the disability. It's just kind of like some of the development and some of the growth I feel was hindered. Like, and it was a lot of trauma. Robin says, yeah, yes, a lot of that was there. I was still, because of my relationship with God, there was a whole lot of growth that I was still able to have. Like when I talked to my therapist, because I had to get therapy. That's another thing I would say to anybody is go and deal with it. Like, deal with it, because that was like one of the best things I could have ever done, because there was so much trauma. There was so much, and I didn't even realize how much I was carrying. This is before Plexus. But what I'm saying is that we can carry so much, and it affects the whole way, our perception of ourselves, the way we see others, the way we view ourselves in relation to others. And so you can just not, even though I know these things are here, even though I know my strengths, it was like, it didn't matter what strengths I had. It was like the weaknesses were, putting that, just kind of that cap on my potential. And so it's just been, this whole journey has been just kind of growing and learning more about me, learning that, I don't know, just those things in your head, like there's something wrong with me. Something that happens on my team, then you just start, you kind of can internalize it. Like there's something, see, I don't know, one of those crazy thoughts I had was like, maybe my team just doesn't love me enough to fight for me. Like that was one of the thoughts that I had. And it was like, I knew that wasn't true, right? I knew it wasn't true. There were a whole lot of different factors and things going on. But because of that, that underlying belief that I had, and that even my mom was continuing to, that I was allowing her to continually speak to me as an adult, was really keeping that belief system there. I guess that's the best way I can kind of describe it. But is there anything else on that, Robin, that you're wanting me to? Okay. And you might have to just kind of help me out with this, because I kind of feel that disconnect from the call from last week. And then now, okay, I'm trying to pick up from here. But exactly, can you tell me what you wanted me to hit on?
So I want you to really focus on now, when we obviously had that conversation December, January, you did finally turn in your goal sheet. We had kind of a breakthrough there, right? Then you also had pride in Thornell's arms. He prayed. He told you that you don't have to do anything else. The next day, LaQuinta called. Then a week later, Lavina called. So, the Lord placed these two amazing individuals in your lap, right? These are your two new super huge level 1 runners, fast start runners. What did you do from that moment? Because I think where people get really stuck is they're like, okay, I have some, like, you're praying for the Lord to bring the people to you. Then the Lord brings the people to you, and then nobody does anything, people don't do anything with them. Yeah. So I want you to really break down what it was that you did once they joined, or once they called you, once they said they were ready. What exactly are you doing? And then talk about the work and the grit that's involved. This has happened many times on your team, but specifically between January and March, for you to go from 700 some odd points to 1715.
Okay. So again, so that crying episode, that was December. That was the beginning of December. And then from there, and I really just felt like I've done everything. Like I told y'all last week, like, I don't know what else to do. I've talked to people, I've cast a vision. I'm constantly, talking to new potential business builders. Like I have never stopped. And so, I'm just going, well, God, where are they? And who are the people that are that you have for me? They're gonna take this, seriously and run right along with me. Besides the ones that my team that I already had, that was amazing. But I was like, who else? Because I needed more business builders. So who else is there? And so the crying thing was December. The very next day, so that was LaQuinta when she reached out. Now, look, y'all have to understand, LaQuinta had signed up with Plexus. I feel so bad talking about her, but she'll be okay. She tells the story anyway. But she's like started and stopped 2 times. Okay, so it's not like I just thought, oh, LaQuinta's gonna come and like she's gonna be a rock star. Like, I did not know how this was gonna go. Okay, because we've been here before, and it was a little different this time where she was catching the business, but still, people tell you that all the time as well. that they're there and that they're ready to run, and then that ends the first week or the first day. So that's a common thing that happens. So she told me, now that first month when she signed up in December, she was graduating. So she didn't get a chance to get started. So of course I'm going, okay, well, I know she's graduating. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to give her the time that she needs, but I still don't know how this is going to turn out, and how serious she's going to be about it. I did know that she had heard the Lord. So that was the good thing. So then when Lavina reached out, that was January 7th. And she signed up on January the 8th, the very next day. So with her, she heard it, and she immediately was like, I'm going to do this, and my sister's going to do it too. And then from there, it was just like, they just both jumped in there and were ready and just started moving. And so for me, and at the time when they started moving, LaQuinta was starting to move at the same time, because she had gotten through graduation and the whole 9 yards. So from there, I see, okay, well, I have these 2 runners that are ready to go, and then Del Rita as well, 3. And then we did Lavina's first launch party call. And she, like I said before, she signed up 2 other rock stars. And then it just kind of kept going from there. They just kept coming. It was really kind of hard to believe, but it's like these just amazing women just kept showing up. And then, you know, the same thing was happening with LaQuinta. Like she's over there and she's sharing, and she's, you know, she had her launch party, and, you know, people showed up, signed up, and some of her close friends as well were ready to start the business. And so it was like both that was happening on both of their teams. So that was just, it was amazing. And the way that I handled it was, I was like, okay, so I've got to get to know these people really fast. So I would plan out the welcome calls. And really, I just did it kind of free flowing. You know, everybody has different schedules and is available at different times. So I would just ask, hey, when is this person available? And we would do a welcome call. And so that's really huge, because how can you work together unless you know each other? If you don't know the person, if you don't know their goals, if they're wanting to walk or crawl or run, you know, you need to be able to hear so that you can know how to lead them. And I had done so many of those with Robin. So I knew exactly what to do, because I would always, every time I got someone that was said that they were interested in the business, I would get them on a coaching call with Robin.
Can you break that down though? Because everybody doesn't get that necessarily from me. So break that down, what that looks like.
So a coaching call is basically like, you know, you're basically introducing yourself, but first I start off by trying to hear from them, wanting to hear who they are, what they do for a living, what their what their interest is with Plexus, and what their goals are so far. And of course they're brand new, but you can still kind of catch it. You can hear where they are, if they've caught the vision, or if they're like, you know, well, I'm kind of open, you know, maybe a couple of $100 is good, or I just want to get my products paid for, whatever it is. But that gives you the ability to hear where they are. And then from there, I share my. Mhm.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm asking like I'm
Oh, go ahead.
low because everybody doesn't know all the details. So I'm gonna keep asking you questions so you can break it down like very specifically. So these welcome calls, you're calling them welcome calls. You also call them coaching calls. I probably call them vision casting calls. Would you say that's all inclusive?
I guess kind of, yeah.
What is it really? I'm trying to define it for them. Is it really a welcome call? Is it a vision casting call? Is it?
It's kind of all of that in one, but it's more, it's more focused on that person. And maybe we might have 2 or 3 people on sometimes, but you know, sometimes it's just one person, and you're at the same time, that's what I was saying, you're able to cast vision as well. So you're hearing from them, you're finding out what their goals are, but then you're able to cast vision, because most people don't come into this knowing what it is. Once you cast the vision, then I can give them the next steps, and I let them know what the next steps are. If this is something that they're wanting, you know, sounds like they're wanting to do, then okay, well, first thing we need to do is your first post, and then we need to get your launch party scheduled. And so that's where I'm able to then explain the launch party, so that they, you know, because if people don't take that launch party seriously, you did all of that, and then they wrote their list of 100, but maybe they didn't send out all of the invites. Maybe they don't get why you're asking them for 100, and does it really take all of that? So then I'm able to deal with that mindset, or their questions, and help to kind of bridge the gap for their understanding of how significant the first the launch party is, and the first post.
Can I give a little bit of perspective too, Summer, and correct me if I'm wrong? So I want everybody to really understand. I'm wanting this to be a teaching call so you guys can know what to do with your teams. Okay. So when Summer's saying she's doing these welcome calls with Del Rita's level 1, or Lavina's level 1, or LaQuinta's level 1, am I correct?
Yeah, level 2s, level 3s, level 4s.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. But she's doing a lot of those specifically because all those ladies came in brand new. Okay. Right. So they weren't really equipped at the time to be casting vision and doing welcome calls and all of that. Does that make sense? So it still benefits you. I'll give you an example. So I was getting to know Summer's people. Okay. I was getting on calls for Summer. I'm about to do another call with another one of my level 1s and their new runner. Okay. So I do these with my level 1s too. Summer is equipped. Summer is trained. But there's something about that social proof and the third party validation. Okay. So it is important, and your sponsor may not always be throwing it out there to do it for you, but if you have a runner on your team or you have someone that's even the least bit interested in the business, try to form that connection with your sponsor and that person. Okay. Most people would describe this as they may do it in three-way chats. We're just not a big three-way chat team. I just don't do a lot of three-way chats, that they never really stuck on my team for whatever reason. And so I do want to clarify too, these are Zooms, correct, Summer? Because that's
Yeah.
normally what I do.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Keep going, babe.
Okay.
Is everybody
Yeah.
following what we're talking about here now? Okay. All right.
So we go ahead and we try to schedule their launch party at that time. And then we're helping them, of course, we'll make the graphic, get the verbiage over to them. Of course, once they get their list of 100 to us, that shows that they have skin in the game, and you're hoping that they're going to send that to all 100 people or more. I've started saying, look, if you send it to 200 and 300, then you could literally go gold off of one call. So maximize this call, and I translate what that amount is and what that means to them. Like what amount of money that would be, to help them to kind of understand, okay, it'll be about $1,000 from one phone call. All right. So then from there, I also, if I catch that they are really wanting to do this business, they're really wanting to go all in and they're giving that off, then I talk to them about the fast start bonuses. And so that's the first thing I did with Lavina and LaQuinta. And then I try to do that with everybody that they bring in that sounds like they are serious. I let them know, and pretty much everybody, but especially if they're telling me that they want to run. I'm letting them know what these fast start bonuses mean. And it totals about $4,100. So I tell them, I want you to get all of those fast start bonuses, and you have 5 months to do it. So because you have 5 months to do it total, the first ranks, we want to get those out of the way as fast as possible. So then you have enough time to hit senior gold, ruby, and senior ruby within that 5-month period. So I tell them, yes, you have 30 days to hit fast start silver. However, we're going to try to get you the goal is to get you to fast start silver as soon as possible, like within your first 7 days. And then that way, when they're coming in, you've already hit fast start silver. And then you have the ability to push the rest of the month for fast start senior silver. And then, and sometimes they might go further than that and go gold, and that it just, hey, if they've already hit senior silver and there's still, 2 months left, 2 weeks left in the month, or even 3 weeks left in the month, I'm sorry, or even one or so weeks left in the month, then I'm going to be like, hey, keep pushing, because you have some business builders now that you can turn around and help go silver. And you could also hit gold and get 10 more people within this last week. So I just I push them. I push them. I think Christy is my level 3. She's under Julie. So it's LaQuinta, Julie, Christy. But I developed a really good relationship with Christy right off the bat. And so that gave me the ability to push her. And I was like, hey, you're already senior silver. You still have a week left. She was kind of excited, like, oh, I hit it. And I'm like, keep on going. So, I just think the relationship part of it is just so huge, especially when it's someone new. The faster and the sooner that you can build those relationships quicker with the tap rooting with the level even 2s, 3s, 4s, people that you don't know, the better it is. And it's genuine. I love them all. So it's like a joy. It's a pleasure to get to do, but it just works out, because then you're able to kind of learn their personalities and everything, and just kind of hear more from them. I'm trying to think anything before I move on to something else.
Yeah, I'm looking at these questions. How fast are you having these welcome calls? You're doing them pretty fast.
Yeah, because you have to look at it. This is a month-to-month business, and I try to help my people understand that as well. Because when you walk in new, you don't get it. You don't get that. Oh, I have until the 31st, and then on the or whatever, the 30th or the 31st, and then on the 1st of the month, all that's gone, and you start all over again with points. Like, people don't get that. So I try to help them to understand that as well. Like you've got 1 month to really make these things happen. And so because of that, there's a sense of urgency. And so you're trying to move as quickly as you can to schedule that welcome call and to schedule that launch party. Even if somebody, like we generally like to give it time and, oh, you have at least 2 weeks to get the invites out and all that. But when I'm looking at it, if we are mid-month, then we don't have that time. And so we're going to schedule your launch party within the next 3-4 days or so, and at the latest a week, so that you have the opportunity to go ahead and get your 3 and then get your 10, within that month. So it all, if somebody walks in at the end of the month, it's not too late to get their launch party done. Like I've had people on the 30th to sign up for the 31st. Sean Russell, I remember she signed up like on the 31st, whatever the last day of the month was. This is a while back, but it's an example. I was talking to her that morning and I said, okay, I'm going to get a graphic to you, get these out, make your list real quick, send it to me, and get this invite out. And literally that same night, she had people on the call and she went silver the same day that she got started. And so I guess if we can just take those barriers out, thinking we have to push it off and realize that we're in a time sensitive business and do what makes sense for each person as they're coming in. And another thing I tell them, because it's a 30-day business, a month-to-month business, and you have these 30 days, and I explain this to them, I'm trying to put money in your pocket ASAP. So I explain them, if you just came in and it's the end, we have a week left in the month. Yeah, you might feel like I'm rushing you, but the reason why is because if you do it right now, then you're going to get paid out by the 15th of next month. If you don't, and we wait until the beginning of next month, you're going to get paid out the next month after that. And then they're like, oh, okay. So just help it to make sense to them, because it might feel kind of rushed, but you have to help them to understand why you want to help them to put money in their pocket as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's so good. There's a couple of nuggets here before I have you move into, I still want you to share the breakdown of, I think it's not the welcome calls, it's something deeper. Oh, your opportunity calls.
Opportunity calls? Okay.
Yeah, I want you to break that down in a minute, but I want to sit here for a second, because I really want people to understand the strategy behind this. It is genuinely Summer's heart, right? She loves people. She loves getting to know people. She loves helping people to get out of financial constraints. She loves helping people to reach their goals. So this is all genuine, obviously. But I want you guys to understand that people are going to rise and fall to your level of expectation. Okay. So when you set expectations that are just kind of either no expectation or expectations that are low, then guess what? They're going to reach that low expectation, right? They're only going to go here. Right. But she's casting super huge vision for individuals as soon as they get started. Okay. And I don't know if someone from her team wants to just unmute themselves and share really quickly what that meant and what that looks like to them, because I think it's better to hear from the horse's mouth, someone that actually she did pour into, so you guys can understand the perspective of someone who just started in January, has already made $4,000 or $3,000 or $2,000, and what that meant to really help them to build belief very quickly. That's how you create this type of momentum. Okay. Anybody want to share really quickly? Lavina, Del Rita, anybody? Okay, Lavina.
Yes, I like to share that she literally does believe in you, and she expresses that. And for someone like myself, I had never done network marketing before. And so this was all brand new to me. And so she explained it very clearly, laid it out. I saw it and I wanted to run with it. But she spoke she would always tell me the next level. She would say, "You are silver. You're silver. You get through. I know you know that." She just would just cheer you on. Like, and then when she would say, like, it'd be like countdown, a couple of days till the next, the end of the month. You can do it. You're gonna be a senior silver. You're gonna be a senior gold. And then you're going to your next. And I'm sitting there, my eyes getting big, and then she says, "You gotta believe it. You gotta believe it." So she's constantly pouring into you and coaching you, and she helps to build your faith. It's like, it feels like, I said the other, we had another Zoom. I said it kind of feels like a small congregation where she's like telling you, you're more than a conqueror. You can do all things. So she's pumping these encouraging words into you until it gets into your spirit, and then it gets into your memory brain, and then you believe it, you start feeling it, and then you go run with it. So I'm learning from her example, and that's what I need to do for my people as well. Thank you.
Yeah. No, that's so good, Lavina. And so that's the other talking point here, guys, is that you have to give your people the amount of belief and let them borrow that belief from you until they believe it for themselves. Okay. And so guess what that means? That means that you personally have to have that belief. So if you know that you're struggling in the area of belief, then you've got to go work on that. Okay. One of the things that I did really early on in this business, I would watch like every diamond doc. Every week a new diamond doc would come out. I would watch a diamond doc. I would read a testimony every single day. I would commit myself to going on and there was no Journey to Health and Happiness back in the day, but I would go to some page, I think it was Plexus Journeys, and I would go read a health testimony. Okay. I would literally force myself to learn, become a student of the industry, of Plexus Worldwide, of these products, because that helped to build my belief. I didn't have a sponsor pouring into me like that at all. And so I had to learn to build belief myself, right? And so there are no excuses, y'all. Even if you're like, a lot of you are probably like, well, my sponsor's not as dynamic, or my sponsor is like not doing anything, or my sponsor is brand new like me, so they don't know anything. That's not a reason. Guys, I am Diamond Senior Ruby, and I don't have an upline, 0 upline. So please don't use this call as an excuse for you to say why you're not where you want to be. Because yes, Summer is a dynamic leader, but you guys have it within you. And every single one of you have access to all these things on this call and on this team page, and these groups. You have everything that you possibly could need to take this all the way to the top. So thank you for sharing that, Lavina. I also want to point out the fact that when Summer is really pouring belief into people and casting big vision, it really does help people to not shrink back, because the time that people mainly shrink back is in the very beginning of their business, where they're so unsure. They just don't know what they don't know. But when you're pumping that level of belief into people, and when you're getting money in people's pockets really early on, they're like, oh, I actually can do this. I didn't think I could do it, but I actually can. And then it just starts to create this ripple effect. Okay. And that's literally what happened on her team. So anyway, keep going, Summer.
That is so true. And that's my goal, is like, if people can just get to silver, they see that they can do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And so
especially fast start silver.
that fast start silver, because you're making $300.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, right now, $375. So it is huge. And that's why my goal is like, let's get that done quickly, because everybody knows a friend, mama, cousin, like, you can get 3 people. And I generally try to tell them, don't wait until the launch party call. Like, go talk to those people that you have influence with. If they don't do it, that's okay. It's totally okay, because everybody's doesn't have that supportive family or friends. But if you can get your 3, but even before the launch party call, then on the launch party, we're trying to get you to senior silver, or beyond. So that's the idea there. Someone asked if they don't have 100 people, I let them know that is nothing right off the bat, because usually people hear that number and they're like, oh, I don't know 100 people. And I'm like, well, and Robin always says the same thing, like, look at your Facebook. How many Facebook friends do you have? you have 1,000 or you have 500, whatever it is, 100 people. So those are the people that you need to put on your list. And also look at your phone, go through your phone list, and if your contacts, and if you normally talk to them by text or you normally call them, then that's what you need to do with Plexus. Based upon how you normally communicate with them, that's how you need to reach out about Plexus. Is that it on that, Robin? Okay. As far as the launch party calls, and let me do the launch party calls, because our launch party calls are the same as our normal opportunity calls. We do a whole lot of them. That is a big thing that really helped our momentum is, if you always, from the beginning picked up that if you want to grow, then you need more opportunities to get before people. So you increase your opportunities to get before people, you're going to be signing more people up, and the same for your team. So I just, definitely did the opportunity calls. I mean, it's almost like we're on a call every night. If it's not a training call, it's an opportunity call. Except for Friday, I carved that out for my family. And then on Saturdays, we do our calls at 11 a.m. And we also do them on Sunday evenings. So literally, it's like a call every night. But I justify that to my team by letting them know, look, this is generational wealth you're creating. I think it's worth an hour or two of your evening. I think it's worth carving that out, even if it's like every evening. And it's not going to be like this forever as well. We're in high momentum. Let's maximize this opportunity. And so that's one of the things is I look at how much it would take. You would be working 4 or 5 hours at a part-time job to bring in just a fraction of this. So, it's worth it. It's work that's worth it. And we enjoy ourselves. We have y'all, every night the call is completely different. It's based upon who's on there, what needs are there, but we have a good time on those calls. As far as the way the call goes, the only difference with my launch party call is that I started off with music because we call it a party. So we can't have a party without some music. So we play the same old Celebrate Good Times by Kool and the Gang. Because I feel like, the older crowd gets that, the younger crowd can still, jam out to that. So that's what we do. We do Celebrate, or whatever that song is called. Y'all know what I'm talking about, Kool and the Gang. And that's how we get it started. And then it just kind of loosens everybody up, and we're dancing in the beginning. And I'm like over here doing the snake, we're breaking seat dancing, whatever you want to call it. But, we have a good time, and, we're celebrating someone's launch party. That's a big deal. And so that's really the only difference. And what I started doing was, and this is something that really got me or it was hard for me to do, but the idea is normally 45 minutes for a call, 45 minutes, because we respect people's time. I get that. Like, I feel that same way, right? But my testimony is kind of long, and I can shorten it, but I don't, because people just don't understand chronic illness, and I need them to understand how it takes over your whole life. And so I don't rush through my testimony, right? And then I feel like I need to engage with these people that are on this call. And so we may have 20 guests, we may have 30 or 40 guests. And y'all, I literally sit there and engage with every single person. And so I let them know at the beginning of the call that this is going to be an engaging call. Number one, there are kind of a few things that I kind of go over to set the proper expectations. So it's going to be an engaging call. If you can show your face, I really need to see your face, because you matter, your presence matters, your smile matters, like everything about you matters. So we need to see you. The other thing is, I am not going to rush this call. I ask you to, is your health worth the time investment? Are you able to hang out with us for an hour, 30 minutes, maybe, because your health that's all you have. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And this information will transform your whole life if you will learn about it and get an understanding. And so, I ask them that, and generally people, they get it. And usually they stick and stay through the whole call. And so, I mean, you might have every now and then where somebody has to drop off, but generally most of the people stay. And so I am, what else? I'm trying to think of what else I go over in the beginning. But at that point, I unmute and I ask each person, I'll call out their name. So I'll start at the top and I know who my people are and then who the guests are. And so I will call out the unfamiliar names and ask them to unmute and share who invited you to the call, and also share your health goals. And if you know how like it'll have like Galaxy S8 or something, and if I ask for their name, if that's the case, and then I rename them so that I can know who they are and so that we all can know who they are. And then from there, each person shares. What that does, it is huge, y'all, because what it does is it helps not only the people that are on it does a number of things. Number one, it helps the person that is sharing to come out of denial, that because they think they're healthy, everybody thinks they're healthy and they don't need plexus. So you're kind of making them and kind of forcing them to tell the truth. You're overweight, and y'all, when they say, oh, I'm good, I'm healthy, I don't even let them do that. I'm like, okay, I hear, that's awesome, I hear you, but these are things I'm looking for. Do you have any joint pain? Are you having trouble sleeping? Do you have anxiety, depression? Do you need to lose weight? Any kind of little bugs, about your health, I need to hear. Are you on medication? Those types of things. And they generally come back and go, oh yeah, well now I need to lose weight and I do have energy issues. And so you kind of have to help them to understand what that question means and what you're looking for. And I don't let them get away with telling me they're healthy. Then why are you on the call? So I don't know. I just don't let them get away with it. And then, okay, so it's helping that person to come out of denial, because think about it. If a person thinks they're healthy, they're not going to listen right. They're going to listen like she's talking to everybody else. She's not talking to me. And they're not going to do anything when they get off of the call, more than likely. So the second thing is they have told everybody on that call that they have health issues. If they get off that call and they do not sign up, then they're feeling pretty dumb at that point. I mean, I don't know the other words to, you just said that you're in pain, you can't sleep, and you have diabetes and high blood pressure. So what that does is that helps the sponsor to hold them to what they said. You have these issues, we got to get you better. So that's the second thing that it's doing. The third thing that it's doing is it is helping those guests to see that everybody on that call has health issues. That is huge, because then they're understanding the reason that the importance of our work, of what we're doing. Okay, so then it is also helping our new ambassadors, because our new ambassadors get on. I tell them when the launch party calls are, I ask for their support. I also open it up for them to invite their guests. So it's not just the person that's launching that can benefit from that call. So they invite their guests, right? So what that's doing is with the new ambassadors, is helping them to see as well why what we're doing is so vital and important, because every single call we get on, where there's 20, 30, 40, 50 guests, the most people we've had is 75 people on a call on Saturday. And that's helping everybody to get it, that everybody is sick. Everybody needs plexus. It just seals that in a person's head. And no matter whether you're a new ambassador or whether it inspires me and it encourages me. And I'm 5, almost 6 years in. It blesses me. And so that's the thing, that is a game changer. And it can take sometimes an hour to get through everybody. It can take an hour and 15 minutes or so to get through everybody. But those people stay on that call and they listen to all of those people. I think is revelatory to them, and so they listen. And then from there, I ask, it's important, that they hear testimonies so that they know it's not just me, it's also, helping all of these other people in different ways. So they popcorn testimonies out, the team does. From there, I share my testimony. After that, I ask another 1 or 2 people to popcorn a testimony. And what that does is that gives me a break. Because now I got to go talk about the products after I've shared my testimony. So I'll drink some water or whatever. And then from there, I'll share the products. I generally stick with the triplex combo initially, but I do also share the other products very quickly with them and briefly, because I want them to understand that they might need that $200 welcome pack, that 209. Because they might hear, oh yeah, well, I want quicker weight loss, so I need that balance and MetaBurn. Or, another thing, when in the beginning, when they're telling me, if they say they have sleep issues, I'll go ahead and in the beginning say, well, girl, this is what you need. I'm going to talk about the triplex combo, but you need Mega X. It does this and this and this real quickly. And so when they give me something that I know triplex is not going to, that they need something in addition to triplex, like nerve, if they say they have neuropathy, then I'm going to pull out my nerve right there at the beginning and say, okay, you definitely need the triplex. I'm going to talk about that later, but nerve, you need to add this to your welcome pack, at a minimum, triplex plus the nerve. Let's see, from there, after I share the products, I open it up. And one other thing that I tell them to do. So I'm casting vision throughout this call. I'm sharing with them when I introduce myself and say I'm Emerald, I'm telling them what Emerald means. And that it comes with a 6-figure income, that it comes with a trip to Hawaii. And it doesn't matter whatever your rank is, you tell them what that earning means, because they don't know what that is. And so I explain that. I also interfuse as I'm listening to them and hearing the needs on the call. And I tell them I need to hear, because I'm trying to address a few things. So just as I think about it, I'm going to tell you. Sometimes people get on, well, I'm just listening. I'm just here to listen. And they don't want to tell you their health issues. And I explained to them, I'm so glad you're here to listen. So thankful that you joined us tonight today on the call. However, I need to, I tailor my call to meet the needs that are here. And so if I don't hear your needs, then I can't accurately help you. And so then they'll, go ahead and tell me what their health issues are. So what I'm saying is sometimes you kind of have to break through some things with people, whatever's going on. But I'm like I was saying before, I'm casting vision. So every opportunity that I get to say if everybody shares their health goals, I'll say something like, this is why it's so important that you take this pertinent information and that you pass this along to the people that you love and care about. We are on a mission, we're over here, we are serious about what we do. And we are trying to get this into as many hands as possible to save as many lives as possible. So this is pertinent information that you just don't want to keep to yourself. It would really be selfish to keep it to yourself. And so I'm helping them right there to think, oh, I need to share with somebody then. Oh yeah. And the other thing I tell them is during this call, and I say this at the very beginning or before I start my testimony or whatever, but I'll say, what I want you to do is make sure you have pen and paper or your cell phone in your notes section, and any name that comes to your mind, I want you to write the names down, because you're going to hear different diseases, different things. I honestly believe that it's the Holy Spirit bringing those people to your attention and to your awareness. And that means that they need to be on a call like this. So you can invite them on the next call, get with your sponsor, find out when the next calls are, they'll let you know, and you'll want to get them on a call like this. So it's just, I'm infusing it all through the call. And then at the end, as I'm talking about the pricing, I'm talking about, it's $9.95 and you're going to, you're going to get the wholesale pricing. I explain all of that and the benefits, but I also let them know. And, if you do choose to share, which I hope you do, you're going to have a link. And you will be able to, we'll teach you, how to do this, but, you'll be able to share as well and help the people that are in your sphere of influence. So I don't know, just whatever that comes to my mind that I'm able to cast vision, I'm casting vision that whole call.
Yeah, so good. I love the way you break it down. Okay. She leaves no stone unturned. Do y'all understand what I'm saying here? you have to make it crystal clear for people. I mean, she's almost knocking people over the head with it, right?
Yeah.
Because by the end of the call, people literally are like, I'd be kind of not smart to not do this,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
In the most loving way, she does it too, right? It's almost a no-brainer. Okay. So to end the call, because we're a little bit over, to end the call, I want you to share your final synopsis of how you found this to be effective, because you would see that the individuals that were actually on those calls were the people who actually started duplicating in
Yeah.
real time. Can you
Yeah.
explain that really quickly?
Yeah, it happened initially on Lavina's call. She had Bridget and Aisha, and Aisha was like immediately like, I know I'm supposed to do this. And she came ready. Like she just came ready from that one call. And then the same thing happened with Bridget. And Bridget was like, in my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, well, I just came for some products and I'm not good with sales. And I'm not going to be telling anybody. But I addressed that on the call as well. I address those mindsets, all the reasons that people say that they can't do this, that they're not good with sales, and whatever it is. And I'm gonna wait and see what it does for me before I share it with somebody. I cover all that on the call as well. And so she said, right, this is Bridget. She said, right when I was saying that, she was just saying in her head that no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see what it does for me. And then she said, right after that, I said, and don't wait. Do not wait to share this information. Somebody is over there suffering like I was, and they need to hear it now. And your results don't have anything to do with their results, because you're over here trying to lose weight and trying to show your weight loss results, and they're over there, dealing with migraines that are incapacitating or whatever it is, And so your testimony is not going to change things for them. They need to hear that you found something that is working and that is working for the masses. And so, yeah, so I'm addressing all those issues that people have as well on the call. And I saw it with Lavina and her people, and they came ready. And then I just kept doing that same thing, because people kept coming ready. And they also feel like they're a part of the team. That's the other thing. They feel like they're a part of the team already, because they have been on the call. They've heard from me, they've heard from other team members to get that, oh, I like these people. And the other thing is that, let me see, it just left, but they feel like they're a part of the team. Oh, and when you make them engage, because see, they can have their camera off and they can be silent the whole time. And literally, I had a girl that got on the call, and she was like, she actually told she told Ashley she didn't want to share. And will you talk for me? And so Ashley told me, she said she didn't want to talk. And I said, no, wait a minute. You need to show your face. I said, you need to show your face. And she literally took the camera down. She showed her face, and she shared, and she talked about, her health goals and why she was there. And she literally got off that call and went silver like that. So I'm not allowing them to be, to give these excuses. It's like I'm trying to at any time that I can encourage them or build them up, even in that scenario. It was amazing, because she literally went silver, and now she's ready to work on senior silver. So,
and guys,
it's quick. Yeah.
Do you guys understand what this is? Like, you're literally being the hands and feet, because there are so many people that are broken, that lack confidence, that lack belief. And as soon as you just start to show up and show them that you matter and I notice you, they literally will stop shrinking back almost immediately. And so you have to understand the importance of the work that we're doing and why we're doing it. And some of you will walk away from this call and you'll be like, okay, there's no way I'm going to spend 2 hours on a call. And that's totally fine. Like, you don't have to. We're not saying that you have to use the same prescription that Summer utilizes for her team, but I'm wanting you to take nuggets from this call so that you understand that the underlying theme here is that you care enough to show up for people, and you care enough to help people to see their own potential. Okay. And that means just the potential for them to care enough about their health that they actually invest in their health, if nothing else, right? I mean, yes, Summer has done way more than that because she literally began duplicating something that, I mean, now you have what, level 7s and 8s now? It was crazy.
Yeah.
And so this is so important for you guys to really understand that just having a genuine heart and showing that you care for people. And a lot of you would hear some of these things, I'm sure that Summer has said tonight, you were like, oh, that's really assertive. Like, that's almost cringy. Like, I don't know that I could tell somebody that has their camera off, and I don't know them from Adam, to turn their camera on and no, we need you to share. But guess what? That young lady needed that, because after that call, she had inserted enough belief in this young lady. I mean, she didn't even, I mean, sorry, Ashley, but she didn't even listen to Ashley. She was like, oh no. Ashley's like saying, no, this person doesn't want to speak. And someone was like, no, she's going to speak. And so that belief that she inserted into this young lady caused her to believe enough in herself that she went and shared with 3 people and went Fast Start Silver. So guys, just please, please, please take some of these nuggets and think about and really start to reframe and rework how you're doing your calls. If you're even doing calls at all, if you're not, it's time to start doing them. Okay. It's time to start doing these calls. It's time to start casting bigger vision for your people. It's time to start really, really showing up for your team and helping them to see that anything is possible. So I just appreciate you so much, Summer, for breaking every single piece of this down. I also really appreciate you sharing that this is a sacrifice, right?
Yes.
Being on calls every day, that's a sacrifice, y'all. But guess what? It is worth it, especially when you frame it in the way that Summer has. You are creating generational wealth. If you guys don't believe that you're not doing that, then something's wrong, okay? Every mass movements don't start with a mass movements start with one person, okay? They start with one person. And so what I have created for my family, it literally will last for generations. But guess what, guys? It started with one person, and now it's like a wildfire that can't be put out. And so I want you to understand, every single one of you is a part of a much bigger ripple effect of change that is literally going throughout all of our communities. And that's thousands of people, thousands upon thousands of people. So thank you so much, Summer. We appreciate all of your wisdom, all of your nuggets, all of your transparency these past 2 weeks. We just love you. And you guys just go ahead and tell her thank you before we end the call.
Thank you.
I love
so
that.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
Summer.
you.